In this video, I'm going to give you 6 things you can do that improves, or at least makes less bad, the way your face looks in photos and in things like video calls, Skype calls, Zoom calls, WhatsApp calls, things like that, when you're initiating online dating. These 6 things are very simple, and they will absolutely improve how you look both in photos and video calls.
Alpha Male 2.0. Freedom-focused lifestyle design for men. We do 5 videos a week here on how to make both your business life and woman life more free, because you need both. If you subscribe to this channel, leave a like on this video, and leave a comment on this video, you will automatically be entered into the regular drawing for my online video course on how to create location-independent income, normally $1,400. We regularly announce the winners at the community feed at this channel.
As I have said many times in the past, 80% of your success with online dating is the quality of your photos. Everything else you can do correctly or incorrectly is the other 20%. So the quality of your photos is kind of important. And moreover, those of you who are dating much younger women, or those of you who are dating women in more COVID lockdown areas right now, you may have to have a video call or two to get a woman comfortable enough to meet you in real life. And these techniques also work with those as well. So here are the 6 things. They're very, very simple. Number 1, fake tanning wipes. So what you should do if you are a more pale guy like me, I have very white skin naturally, is you should fake tan the day before you get your photos taken, or the day before you plan on having any video calls with any women you have not met yet. There are lots of ways to do this. You can go in and get it done. There are lotions, there are sprays, there are foams, but the best solution that I have found, and I've looked at a lot, are these. These are called L'Oreal Sublime Bronze Self-Tanning Towelettes. You can get these on Amazon. They're not super cheap. They're about $1.50 each. You tear it open, and it's like a big giant wet wipe, and you wipe it over your face, your neck, back of your neck. You could do your hands and your arms if you want to. They're designed to be done over your whole body. You don't need to do that for photos. But you do that right before you go to bed. You kind of wait a minute to dry your skin off, and you will wake up the next morning and you will be not necessarily tan, but you'll be a lot less white. Your skin will look a lot less bad when you do these. I use these all the time. I do these for YouTube videos, not necessarily this one, but I do this when I know I'm getting my picture taken. I do this when I do anything important where I have to look less bad. I do these the night before. The bad thing about these is they only last about 3 or 4 days. So eventually this stuff washes off, but that's what you do it the day before, or excuse me, the night before you know you'll need them. They're very, very, very helpful, and it's very idiot proof. Number 2, lighting. This is something that a lot of guys don't know much about. This is something that, frankly, I don't know much about. I have been forced to get a little better at this now that I'm doing YouTube videos over the last 1.5 years or so. But I can tell you from experience, men don't know shit about how to light their photos or how to light themselves when they do videos like a video phone call. So even in my temporary Airbnb apartment here in Dubai, I have set up 1 light and 2 lights that I have brought over for my photography equipment. I have a light here, I have another light here. There's a shadow on my face from this microphone, but the lighting I have set up here makes me look a lot less bad than if these weren't there. I would look very washed out, I'd look very dark, I would look bad. And we have done empirical studies, and other people have done studies, including OkCupid, where better lit photos get more match rates and more response rates. Make sure your lighting is very, very good. Worst case scenario, go online and buy a ring light or 2. They're very cheap. You can get them on Amazon and stick them 1 here and 1 here. That's probably fine for most guys. You can go crazy with this stuff. This isn't a video on lighting, but address your lighting. Make sure that you're not just using the normal light above your head in the room, or the normal light coming out of the window, or whatever else it is you're doing. Usually these are not sufficient. Also, by the way, a lot of photos and or videos done outside have too much lighting. If it's really, really sunny, it's usually a bad idea. So you have to be aware of these things. Just be aware of lighting in your photos and your video calls. Number 3, and this is something I figured out a long time ago as a more overweight, portly, chubby man, is the angle of the camera. And so we learned back in the MySpace days, at least women learned this, that if you hold the camera up and look down, your face looks a little more trim, your jawline looks better, your double chin, if you have one, is less prominent. Right now, just coincidentally, I didn't do this on purpose, I did this because this is the setup here. The camera that is taking my video right now is mounted about a half a foot above my head, aiming down. And you can see, because that angle, that my double chin, I don't have much of one left because A, surgery, and B, weight loss, but there's a shadow down here, whereas there's lighting highlighting my face. That's good, or at least less bad. It highlights your face, it highlights your jawline, but it hides the bottom here. Be aware of this. Be aware of the angle of the camera. And the more chubby you are, or the more round face you have, like I do, the more important that is. Whenever I go to the photographer to get my pictures taken, I always make the guy aim the camera a little higher than my eyes at a bare minimum, so I have a slight down angle. I almost always make him do that because it makes me look a lot better, or at least less bad. Number 3, makeup if needed. Makeup? What the fuck? I'm not a girl. What the hell are you talking about? Some of you guys, and I used to need this before I addressed it, are going to need a little makeup on certain areas of your face to touch up certain problems. Some of you guys perhaps have big, rosy red cheeks. That's probably not a good idea, especially if you're very pale. Now, tanning will help that, but if you have really, really red cheeks, what you'll need to do is go get some of that green makeup and you rub it on your red cheeks. It makes your red cheeks go away. You'll look a lot better. What I had to do historically, I don't have to do this now because I fixed it, but I used to have to put stuff in my eyebrows because I have really jacked up, naturally fucked up, sparse eyebrows. So I had to put a little makeup powder in my eyebrows to make my eyebrows look more normal. If you have a big zit or acne or things like that, you may need to get some concealer. That's what it's called. I don't have a problem with acne, but some of you guys do. And you may need to rub that on your acne so you can't see the acne. Now, if you get concealer, make very sure that it's color matched to your skin. You may have to actually go down to the Nordstroms or whatever if they haven't gone out of business yet because of COVID, and have someone help you with this, or have a woman help you with this. By the way, that's a good piece of advice for this stuff. When you're talking about makeup, have a woman help you because they know all this stuff already. And you might need to fix up or touch up problems with your face. Now, a lot of you guys don't have any problems with your face. You may not need any makeup. At the moment, other than my weight, I don't have any real big problems with my face. I don't need any makeup, but I need to make sure to tan and things like that. Number 5, this is something a lot of guys don't do, is clean up your facial hair. I have talked about before in my books and my blogs, we have done some both empirical testing and some anecdotal testing for online dating. And it is pretty apparent that most women, as in more than 50%, not all women, but most women, more than 50% of the women online like facial hair. And your results, generally speaking, there are lots of exceptions, will tend to be better if you have some facial hair, even if it's a goatee, whatever it is you want to do. That's fine. So I'm not saying don't have facial hair. If you want facial hair, please do that. Very, very good idea. The problem is a lot of guys go all hipster and they go all bum looking and they just let their facial hair grow out of their face. They don't really pay attention to it. And they have, hairs growing out of the side of their neck. They've got really scruffy, gross looking beards. Or I've seen this, they have sideburns that don't completely grow in all the way. So instead of having these nice Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson sideburns, they've got these curly things sticking out of the side of their face. That looks terrible. You've got to clean up your facial hair. Clean it up. Make it look tight. Make it look good. Clean facial hair will outperform shitty looking facial hair just about every time. There are exceptions. Yes, there's exceptions to every rule. But if you have facial hair, clean that shit up. When I used to have facial hair, I used to have a goatee, and I would do a few things. Number 1 is I would shave it down. I didn't want it long and scruffy. Number 2 is I would dye it. I don't want any gray in my facial hair. By the way, you older guys, you don't want any gray in your facial hair if you're going after much younger women. Gray in your side hair is okay. Gray in your facial hair is not, so I would dye it. The next thing I would do is the hair right here would grow very well. The hair right here on the sides would grow very poorly. So I would shave it right here and right here. So I have a nice, neat line all the way around. It was very tight, looked very good. That worked very well for me. So clean up your facial hair. Number 6 on the topic of hair, get your hair done at least a few days before you get your pictures taken or before you have a lot of online real calls. Now, the easiest way to do this for most guys, because we don't know anything about hair, I sure as hell don't. Look at my fucking hair. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. But the best thing to do with that is to one time go to a fancy salon, ideally that appeals to men, a fancy barber or a fancy salon, get a cool haircut, then take a lot of pictures of it right after you get it done, and then go to the cheap Supercuts place from then on and have them duplicate that hairstyle as best they can. That's the least bad way to do this, unless you're a total metrosexual guy and you're naturally good at doing your hair. Most of us guys aren't, but that's it. Those 6 things, those will help you. Tonight, depending on when you're watching this video, if you're watching this video the day it comes out, tonight we release the Ultimate Online Dating Video Course at 4 p.m. EST at onlinedatingsuccessnow.com. Otherwise, you can click this video here on how to improve your online dating results by 80%, or you can click this video here for how big your town needs to be successful with online dating. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.